Sly, Combative Concepts, Israel's Warrior Academy in Chicago. Today we are going to be working on the defense against a hook punch / ambush. Okay? What I mean by that is a lot of traditional systems, like they show, like MMA, for example. Let's back off the traditionalism for a second. MMA, they do the short, quick, sharp type of hook punches to the face, combinations, all that type of great stuff with striking. Traditional systems, you don't see hook punches because they're not applicable in traditional systems, because most systems are based on 1,000 years of training and generations of people that are practicing the forms. The difference, what we do with this is we take an old style tradition, okay, which my background is pretty heavily involved in Aikido, especially practical application of Aikido the last 7 years that I was involved, which I left Aikido back in 2007. The application that we end up using is something that can be used out in the street against that Joe Raghead that tries to come and turn you into an oil spill on the ground at some bar, or you're at the beach with your friends and whatever, somebody kicks sand on a guy and the guy comes after you and wants to kick your ass. This is the type of stuff that you could use for that type of application of attack. So, Frank, can you borrow you for a second? So these hook punches, just for demonstrational purposes, that wild type of hook punch, how are you going to be able to block this if you were a traditional martial artist, for example? He throws that punch, I'm not going to sit there and do this to block, or am I going to sit there and do this to block? I'm going to get caught in the face with that. So when he throws the hook punch, you can easily come up and jam this. From that point, you can move into technique, strike, whatever, leg sweep, throw, strike the face, break the elbow, snap the elbow, stomp on the face when you're done. And then you walk off, right? The ambush side, that's just a small variation. The ambush side of this usually starts off with this type of shove. Then you get hit. Okay, it's not, I'm going to shove you and then I'm going to hit you a minute and a half later. Does that work for you? Sure. Right? It's usually a shove, the shove comes in, next thing that happens, here comes the blast. Right? If you try to do a small defense on this, as he goes and shoves in the hook punch, you're going to get clipped. You're going to be eating it, man. You're going to be eating it hard. So, as the shove comes in, you want to come up and jam. Move in and jam. So if the punch comes in, shove, boom, jam up. Then at that point, you can take out his leg, apply a knee bomb right to the inner part of his thigh, backhammer fist, break his nose. End the situation as fast as humanly possible. So another one, boom, jam, right away. There's a lot of stuff you can do from this point. Now remember, this guy is not going to just sit there. Once that shove happens, he's not going to sit there as you're doing this. There's going to be a struggle. So you can move at that point. Okay? Lock him up, whatever, how you want to do this. Stop the attack from happening. Stop it from further progressing. Okay? As it punches, from the punch, you can move in right to the face if you want. Okay? You can take the neck if you want and throw. Okay, a lot of people sit there and say, oh, that shit doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, when you're getting stiff-armed by 210 pounds in the neck, one of two things are going to happen. You're going to fly back and you're going to smash your head on concrete. You might wake up an hour later, you might not. Then I'm going to have to deal with the legality side of that. Or you're going to take one hell of a ride. So he goes and throws that hook punch, and he can move right in and throw. Break his arm if need be, and walk off. Okay? Other applications of this, hook punch slow, you can absorb with this to where you move. Get all kinds of wrist locks, arm bars, whatever. You got to be quick with this stuff though, to where then you can actually throw, break someone's arm at that point. My best advice is somebody comes in and throws that hook punch and you're able to get out of the way of this, get out of the way. Okay? Somebody comes in and throws that hook punch, jam them. Apply the neck. Apply the strike to the neck. Get that elbow in there, get that forearm in there. Can't stand, can't breathe, can't see, can't fight. Smash on that knee. smash his thigh, smash his ankle. Can't stand, can't fight, right? So, to defend against the shove now, the initial part of this, he comes in and shoves, boom. Not gonna be some pussy patty type thing where it's like, yeah, bitch, and then the punch comes off. Okay, this guy is gonna wanna sit there, get you off balance, and then this punch is gonna come and lay you out. So you're gonna wanna stop that from happening from the get-go. If you see someone that's encroaching you, and they're within your workspace to begin with, fuck that shit, okay? We have a first strike option. 2015, not 1985, okay? A lot different now than back then. People pull the ambush scam on people all the time. Being a bouncer for 23 years, I can't even tell you how many times I've witnessed this shit happen, okay? Fight's about to break out. Next thing you know, a guy comes in, fucking shoves. Here comes the hook punch. Here comes the straight jab. Here comes some type of strike. Lights out for that guy, bouncing crew jumps in. It happens that fast. As I said before 1,000 times, action is faster than reaction. The best way to combat that is having your hands up into your workspace. You see a guy encroaching on you, he's getting pissed off, he's getting heat, for whatever reason it may be, he starts coming into you in your workspace. Get some distance between you and him, especially if he's heated, he's aggressive, you can read it off of him. This guy looks like he's pretty heated, he's gonna light you up. The minute he starts coming at you, okay, that point you can back him off, beat him to the punch, or if he comes and grabs, you can grab on your finger grab. Finger lock. Get him in that position where you get a wrist lock at that point, then you can bust his wrist, stop on his face, and walk off. There's tons of stuff you can do. The shove comes in again, you can cut. Okay, he's gonna have to turn. Again, you can move, throw. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It comes in again, you can throw. Just goes on and on and on, right? But basically the shove comes in, grab. Got the finger lock right away. At that point you have unlimited resources, especially if you know wrist locks and so on and so forth. So you can actually stop this from happening right from the get-go. Apply right away. So slowly, put your hands up, let his hands go right into your palm, squeeze the fingers, and apply. He tries to resist and pulls back. He applies it himself. If he pulls forward, he applies it himself. At that point, you can actually lift him up and you can throw him at the point. It's if you know how to actually apply that technique. Okay? So, real quickly, the shove, you can apply finger locks to avoid that from happening. Okay, where you can actually lock this up, hip toss, stomp. You can deflect off of that and move, get him out of the way to avoid the initial contact. If it gets to the point where he shoves, jam up, boom. Jam up, take out the forward leg, either going forward into him or reverse and take him out that way. Once you have this, you can break the elbow, strike, stomp to the face, take off running. Or you can catch, throw. At that point you can move right into this, break his elbow. He's not going to be doing anything else after that point. So that's it. Okay, that's it for us today. Combative Concepts, Israel's Warrior Academy. That was a brief showing of our hook punch / ambush. We'll probably do a second video on that. Some more highlighted techniques, some more stuff that's gonna fuck your shit up if you're trying to throw a hook punch at one of us. So, as always, share our videos, like, subscribe on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook at Combative Concepts. There's a lot more coming. This is just the beginning of what I'm gonna be doing. I told you guys in the last video, I'm gonna be stirring up the pot. This is a teaser. Wait until the next video. The next video, that's the one that I'm gonna be shitting in your cornflakes.